3, John Manson stood tall and cold in the early morning light. Black gates, white store wall, perfect grass. Everything looked expensive, everything looked decent. Taekook stood outside the servant entrance at exactly 6 in the morning. He wore a clear knit housekeeper uniform. His hair was tied back simply. His posture was straight, his face calm, no nervous shaking, no fear, only quiet resolve. A senior maid checked his name on a clipboard. Senior maid, you are the new hire? Yes. Senior maid looked at him carefully. Senior maid, you don't look desperate enough for this job. Taekook smiled politely. I believe work deserves dignity, not desperation. The maid raised an eyebrow but said nothing. Instant the Manson whisper already started. Sobin leaned closer to another maid as they watched them walk through the corridor. Sobin, another housekeeper, walked like they owned the place. Maid, maybe he is educated. Sobin scoffed. Sobin educated doesn't belong to servant halls. Taekook heard the words clearly. He did not react. He simply adjusted his sleeve and continued walking. Taekook stood near the window, coffee untouched in his hand. He had barely slept. His phone buzzed. Message from Taekook arrived. Jungkook smiled before he could stop smiling. He typed quickly, Jungkook, be careful. A knock came at the door. Jungkook came in. Taekook entered, carrying fresh. For a moment, the world disappeared. Jungkook's eyes lit up like the sun had walked into his room. Jungkook, good morning. Taekook bowed slightly professional. Taekook, good morning, sir. Jungkook lip twitched. Jungkook, stop there. Taekook glanced at the door open. Taekook, not here. Jungkook lowered his voice. Jungkook, I wanted all night to see you. Taekook placed the lines carefully on the bed. Taekook then wait a little longer. Jungkook stepped closer. Jungkook, my own house and I can't even touch my husband? Taekook fondly looked at him. Assume, Taekook, you agree to this? Jungkook signed dramatically. Jungkook, I regret agreeing. Taekook smiled softly, then stand. Taekook, please allow me to walk. Before Jungkook could reply, footsteps echoed. Taekook stepped back instantly. Mrs. Jeon entered with sharp eyes and sharper heels. Mrs. Jeon, Jungkook? Jungkook turned serious at once. Jungkook, good morning, mother. Mrs. Jeon looked at Jungkook. Mrs. Jeon, why is the housekeeper standing so close? Jungkook answered calmly. Jungkook, I was giving instruction. Mrs. Jeon gazed traveled slowly over the uniform. Mrs. Jeon, do your job properly and remember your place. Taekook bowed deeply. Taekook, yes, Mrs. Jeon. Mrs. Jeon left without another word. Jungkook clenched his jaw. Jungkook, you don't deserve that. Taekook made his eyes. Taekook, I choose this late morning. The kitchen was warm, filled with quiet work and quiet judgment. Taekook washed vegetable carefully. Sobin watched him from across the counter. Sobin, you are very calm from someone now. Taekook, come help me work better. Taekook cleans his jaw. Sobin leaned closer. Sobin, don't think we'll make you special here. Taekook smiled gently. Taekook, I don't want to be special. Sobin, unsettled by his composure, the door cracked softly. Jimin slipped inside wearing sunglasses and a grin. Jimin, I know it. Only you would hide yourself like this. Taekook quietly, Taekook, you promised not to come. Jimin, I lied. Taekook him tea. Jimin, does Jungkook know how lucky he is? Taekook, he knows. Jimin studied him. Jimin, and you? Are you okay? Taekook paused, then nodded. Taekook, yes. I am where I choose to be. The sky turned orange. The mansion softened. Taekook timid flower carefully. Jungkook approached softly, making sure no one was watching. Jungkook, you skip lunch? Taekook, oh, forget. Jungkook took his hand briefly. Taekook, you shouldn't have forget yourself. Taekook looked at him. Taekook, this is temporary. Sobin's soft voice cut through the calm. Sobin, Mrs. Jeon. Taekook stepped back. At once, the secret remained instant from now. The plane leaned quietly on the forbidden run away from camera reporters and the weight of the Jeon family name. There were no crowd waiting, no flower, no pleasure, only two men standing side by side, hand brushing, heart heavy with love and fear at the same time. Jungkook adjusted his coat and looked at Taehyung. His eyes were soft, filled with something close to relief. Jungkook, we are really married now. Taehyung smiled faintly, eyes calm but deep. Taehyung, yes, just you and me. They had signed the paper that morning. A small office, a quiet official, no question asked. No one knew who really was. No one cared. That was what Taehyung wanted. Jungkook reached for his hand instantly. Jungkook, come with me. I don't want you alone. Gently pull his hand back, not cold, just firm. Taehyung, Jungkook, not here. Jungkook, for what? Jungkook, why we are married? You are my husband. Taehyung looked out of the glass window, watching people pass with their Oneshot. Taehyung, because your world is heavy, your parents, your house, your rules. Jungkook stepped closer. Jungkook, I can handle them. Taehyung turned to him. I studied. Taehyung, you can, but I don't want to be the reason you fight them before the right time. Jungkook was silent. Taehyung continued, his voice gentle but strong. Taehyung, I am orphan. I grew up learning how to stand alone. I don't need comfort to survive. I need respect, and respect takes time. Jungkook solo. Jungkook, so what do you want? Taehyung hesitated only for a second. Taehyung, let me enter your life quietly. Let me live close but unseen. Jungkook, unseen, what do you mean, Taehyung? I live at your house as a maid in front of your mother. Jungkook, are you mad, Taehyung? No, I don't want you to go my house with a maid. Taehyung, this is only a way, Jungkook, we can live together. Jungkook, no, I can buy a house for you. You can live there happy as my husband, not as a maid. Taehyung, no, Jungkook, what if your mother find out? No, please, Jungkook, give me only 2 months. In 2 months, you can take your time and tell your mother about our relations. Jungkook, oh Taehyung, Jungkook, please, Jungkook, okay. Morning returned to the Jian mansion quietly, but something had changed. It was not visible in the wall or the polished floor, and it lived in looks that too long, the voices that lowered when Taehyung passed by, in silence that felt heavier than words. Taehyung noticed it in the moment he entered the kitchen. Two maids stopped talking. One of them looked away too quite quickly. Taehyung did not ask why. He washed his hand, tightened his apron, and began preparing breakfast. Tray with steady movements. His face remained calm, but his ears were open. He had learned long that silence soft and spoke louder than noise. Behind him, Sobin stood near the counter, pretending to arrange dishes while watching him closely. Sobin, some people rise very fast in this house. Then place plate carefully. Then work become easier when you learn the routine. Sobin smiled, but it did not reach her eyes. Sobin uh, 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 does not explain special attention. Taehyung turned to her politely. Taehyung, if I have done something wrong, you may tell me directly. Sobin hesitated that the calm answer unsettled her. Sobin, I am only saying what others are noticed. Taehyung nodded once. Taehyung, then I will continue walking properly. He walked away with the tray, leaving Sobin standing alone, frustrated. Mrs. Jan's observation from that day, Mrs. Jan began watching, not openly, not harshly. She noticed details. Her uniform was always spotless. How he spoke little but listened carefully. How Jungkook could follow him without realizing. At breakfast, Mrs. Jian is stirring her tea slowly while observing the room. Jungkook sat across from her, reading reports on his tablet. Jungkook entered quietly to refill the tip-top. Mrs. Jeon watched the way Jungkook lifted his hand instantly. Mrs. Jeon, Jungkook? Jungkook looked up. Jungkook, yes, mother? Mrs. Jeon, why does this housekeeper serve you every morning? Jungkook paused. Jungkook, he is assigned to this section. Mrs. Jian turned her gaze to Taehyung. Mrs. Jian, you seem very comfortable here. Taehyung bobbed slightly. Taehyung, I'll try to learn quickly, Mrs. Jian. Mrs. Jian nodded slowly. Mrs. Jian, learning is good. Overstepping is not. Taehyung made her eyes respectful and steady. Taehyung, I understand. He left without another word. Jungkook clenched his jaw. Jungkook, you are being unfair. Mrs. Jeon sipping her tea. Mrs. Jeon, I am being careful. Kitchen. The kitchen was louder by noon. Sobin leaned closer to a group of maids. Sobin, have you noticed how softened he near Master Jungkook? Made one. Maybe a coincidence. Sobin, coincidence doesn't happen every day. Taehyung entered with a basket of clean clothes. The whisper stopped. He placed the basket down calmly. Taehyung, the laundry for the West Wings is ready. No one replied. As he returned to leave, he heard it sobbing. Some people forget their place. Taehyung paused for a second. Then he continued walking, his back straight, his step steady. In the hallway, Jungkook saw him. Jungkook stepped closer. Jungkook, did something happen? Taehyung shook his head gently. Taehyung, nothing that matters. Jungkook lowered his voice. Jungkook, it's matter to me. Taehyung looked at him, eyes soft, firm. Taehyung, then trust me. Jungkook exhaled slowly. Jungkook, I hate this. Taehyung smiled faintly. Taehyung, I know. Late afternoon, Jimin arrived again, pretending to be just Vijit. He leaned against the kitchen counter while Taehyung poured tea. Jimin, this place feels tense. Taehyung handed him a cup. Taehyung, people are curious. Jimin, no, they are jealous. Taehyung smiled. Taehyung jealousy fades when ignored. Jimin watched him closely. Jimin, and if it doesn't? Taehyung looked into the tea. Then patience becomes strength. Jimin sighed. Jimin, you are too calm. Taehyung chuckled softly. Taehyung, someone has to be. They share a quiet laugh. From the doorway, Sobin watched them, her suspicious deepening. The man said that as evening came, in the kitchen, Taehyung stood alone preparing tea after dinner. Jungkook entered quietly. For a moment, neither spoke. Jungkook reached for the cup beside Taehyung. Their fingers brushed, they frozen. Taehyung glanced toward the doorway, then back at Jungkook. Taehyung, careful. Jungkook smiled softly. Jungkook, I miss you. Taehyung poured the drink. Taehyung, we see each other all day. Jungkook, that's not the same. Taehyung pushed the cup towards him. Taehyung, drink. Calm down. Jungkook laughed quietly. Jungkook, you sound like my Taehyung lip curled slightly. Taehyung, I wonder why. They shared a silent smile. That night, Sobin sat in her room restless. She replayed every scene in her mind. The glance, the calm confidence, the way Jungkook softened around Taehyung. Her jealousy turns up. Sobin, it doesn't belong here. She stood up suddenly. Sobin, if I expose him, everything will return to normal. A plan formed quietly. The next evening, the garden glowed under soft light. Then, trimming the plants carefully, lost in thoughts, Jungkook approached from behind. Jungkook, you look tired. Taehyung smiled faintly. Taehyung, it was a long day. Jungkook hesitated. Jungkook, they are watching you more. Taehyung nodded. Taehyung, I noticed. Jungkook took a step closer. Jungkook, I don't want you to intro through this alone. Taehyung looked at him. Taehyung, I'm not alone. Jungkook reached out just for a second. That was when footsteps echoed. Sobin's voice rang out loudly. Sobin, Mrs. Jian. Taekook stepped back instantly. Mrs. Jian entered the garden. Eyes up. Mrs. Jian, what is happening here? Jungkook opened his mouth, but Taekook spoke first. Taekook, I was reporting my work. Mrs. Jian looked between them, suspicion heavy. Mrs. Jian, reporting does not require closeness. Sobin lowered her head, pretending innocence. Sobin, I was worried, ma'am. Jungkook clenched his fist. Jungkook, enough. Mrs. Jian raised her hand slightly. Mr. Jian nodded. She looked at Taekook. Mrs. Jian, I will be watching you closely. Taekook bowed. I understood. As they walked away, Jungkook whispered urgently, Jungkook, this is getting. Taekook's voice was calm. Taekook, I know, but his eyes carried something new, not fear. Morning arrived at Jian Mansion with heavy air. It was the kind of the morning where even the walls seemed to listen. The staff moved quietly, careful looks. Everyone felt it. Something was about to happen. The whisper had grown too loud to remain hidden. Taekook stood in the laundry room, folding, cleaning sheets with steady hands. His face was calm, but his eyes carried quiet focus. He had not slept much yet. There was no weakness in his posture. Jimin leaning against the doorframe, watching him. Jimin today felt dangerous. Then placed the folded sheet neatly. Every day here has felt that way. Jimin sighed. Jimin, if this explodes, promise me one thing. Then look at him. Then, what is it? Jimin, don't lower your head for anyone. Then smiled softly. I never have. The moment came faster than expected. In the main hall, staff gathered to receiving instruction of an upcoming family event. Mrs. Yan stood at the center, composed and dignified. Jungkook stood beside her, his expression serious. Taehyung stood near the back with the other housekeeper. Sobin watched him closely, her jaw tight. Mrs. Jian, this house run on discipline and order. She paused, eyes moving across the staff. Mrs. Jian, anyone who forgets their position will not remain here. Sobin stepped forward suddenly. Sobin, Mrs. Jian, may I speak? The room stiffened. Mrs. Jian looked at her. Mrs. Jian, speak. Sobin pointed towards Taehyung. Sobin, that housekeeper has been crossing boundaries. A murmur replayed through the hall. Taehyung remained still. Mrs. Jian turned sharply. Mrs. Jian, what do you mean? Sobin raised her eyebrows. Sobin, he stayed close to Master Jungkook. He looked at him without respect. Gas filled the room. Jungkook's eyes darkened. Mrs. Jian looked at Taehyung. Mrs. Jian, is this true? All eyes turned towards him. Taehyung stepped forward calmly. Taehyung, I have never crossed a line, Mrs. Jian. Sobin scoffed. Sobin, then explain the garden, explain the kitchen. Explain why Master Jungkook always look at you. Jungkook took a step forward. Jungkook, enough. Mrs. Jeon raised her hand. Mrs. Jeon, no, I won't answer. She turned to Taehyung again. Mrs. Jeon, you allow people to misunderstand. Taehyung bowed slightly. Taehyung, I understand how it looks. The hang heavy. Jungkook clenched his fist. Jungkook, mother, stop this. Mrs. Jeon voice up. Mrs. Jeon, are you defending a servant? That was the moment Jungkook stepped fully in front of Taehyung. Jungkook, I am defending my husband. Silence fell. It was not soft. It was complete. Sobin frozen. Sobin, husband? Mrs. Jeon stared. Mrs. Jeon, Jungkook, what did you say? Jungkook reached back and looked Taehyung hand openly. Jungkook, I said my husband. Whisper exploded. Jungkook spoke clearly. Jungkook, we married overseas quietly because we choose love before fear. Mrs. Jeon looked at Taehyung, her voice trembling. Mrs. Jeon, is this true? Taehyung nodded gently. Taehyung, yes, Mrs. Jeon. Taehyung stepped forward, still holding Jungkook's hand. His voice was calm, but every word carried weight. Taehyung, I choose to enter this house as staff. Mrs. Jeon, why would you lower yourself like this? Taehyung made her eyes. Taehyung, because respect given too easily can disappear just as fast. Taehyung, the room fell quiet again. Taehyung continued, I wanted you to see me without my title, without my connection to your son, just as a person. Mrs. Jeon lips pressed together. Taehyung, I introduce whisper and suspicious, not because I am weak, but because I believe patience revolves truth. He bowed slightly. Taehyung, I love your son. I never wanted to enter your family by force. Jungkook grip tightened. Jungkook, he protect me more than I protect him. Mr. Jeon composed correct. Mrs. Jeon, you let my house treated you unfairly. Taehyung nodded. Taehyung, yes. Mrs. Jeon, why? Taehyung smiled softly because love is not proved by anger. It is proved by Mrs. Jeon turned away, breathing deeply. The hall remained silent. Finally, she forced Sobin. Mrs. Jeon, you spared rumors. Sobin was shocked. Sobin, I was protecting the family. Mrs. Jeon eyes hardened. Mrs. Jeon, no, you were feeding jealousy. Jungkook stepped forward. Jungkook, she betrayed to my husband. Mrs. Jeon nodded slowly. Mrs. Jeon, Sobin, your service in today. Sobin gasped. Sobin, please. Mrs. Jeon, leave with dignity. Sobin lowered her head and walked away. The sound of her footsteps echoed through the hall. Mrs. Jeon turned back to Taehyung. Her voice was no longer sharp. Mrs. Jeon, I misjudged you. Taehyung remained still. Mrs. Jeon, I worth by grounded and status. She bowed her head slightly. Mrs. Jian, I'm sorry. The staff frozen. Taekook's eyes softened. Taekook stepped forward. Taekook, thank you for saying that. Mrs. Jian hesitated, then opened her arm awkwardly. Taekook, only a second before stepping in, he hugged her gently. Mrs. Jian's shoulders shook. Mrs. Jian, you are stronger than I expected. Taekook smiled. Taekook, you rise, kind son. Jungkook laughed soft thought the emotion they passed. The mansion changed, laugh returned to the host, staff smiled openly, whisper turned into warm teasing. Jungkook held Taekook's hand freely now. In the kitchen, Jimin clapped loudly. Jimin finally, I was tired of around. Taekook, you enjoyed Jimin a little. Mrs. Yeon watched them from the doorway. Mrs. Yeon, Taekook turned. Taekook, yes. Mrs. Yeon, dinner tonight, family only. Taekook bowed her head respectfully. Taekook, I would be honored. Jungkook leaned closer. Jungkook, no more uniforms. Taekook smiled. Taekook, I don't need them anymore. That night, the living room glowed warmly. Taekook sat beside Jungkook. In hand, Jungkook leaned his head on Taekook's shoulder. Jungkook, no more hiding. Taekook rested his head gently against Jungkook. Taekook, no more wedding. Mrs. Yeon watched them, eyes thoughtful but peaceful. Mrs. Yeon, welcome home. Taekook smiled fully and in Jeon mansion, openly quite respected.